So now into week 3 of February. Today I want to go over ankle mobility. It's something we often struggle with and it impacts us more than we realise, both just in general well-being, but also if you run, play a sport, even if you go skiing. So this is something that they use in skiing, for example, to test ankle mobility. It's an ankle drop test. You would stand with your back against the wall, head against, and you slide down and they're seeing how far you can drop from standing. Obviously you'd have your back against the wall to keep it nice and strict. When you come over like this is a test of your ankle mobility. So you might find one ankle a bit more mobile than the other. And like I said, whatever you do athletically, even if it's just general movement, ankle mobility is really important. We're going to spend some time today showing you how to get your ankles loosened up and ready to go. So, we're going to start off just with some tiptoe walking, just to get the ankles warmed up, get the calves a little bit warmer. So, just walk on your tiptoes, forward and back, side to side, like that. Now we're going to do some ankle rocks. So, what you want to do is brace yourself against something. We're going to work on the front ankle, keep the foot flat on the floor. I'm going to rock the knee over the toe 10 times. So again, this is a nice general mobility drill for your ankle. If you do struggle with ankle mobility, then this is something that you could do most days. Do it while you're brushing your teeth, wait for the kettle to boil. What's important is you're mobilising the ankles regularly. So let's switch over. So left's probably a little bit more restricted than the right. It's not uncommon to have an asymmetry, particularly maybe if you've broken your ankle or sprained your ankle in the past. Okay, now we're going to come into a yoga pike and then march our calves. So, as well as working on the ankle joint itself, we also need to make sure that the calf muscle, so that's the muscle here, is nice and supple. Because if we've got tight calves, that's going to restrict how our ankles move as well. So this is a great one for doing that. So you should really feel that down at the back of your calves. Next up, we're going to give some ankle circles. So I just like to support my leg so that I can really focus on drawing the biggest circle I can. We're going to do some clockwise and then we're going to switch and we're going to go anti-clockwise. So again, while you're watching TV, if you really want to make improvement on your ankles, you've got to do little and often. So a few ankle circles, a few ankle stretches. It's going to make all the difference. Even if you're stuck on a Zoom or a Microsoft Teams meeting call, you can be doing some ankle circles and a little bit of stretching and no one's going to be none the wiser. So again, look for differences between left and right. So you can see this is my one that I was feeling a little bit more restricted. It's also not got as much control. So my circles on this side are nice and smooth and free. I kind of feel in control. Whereas this side feels a little clunky. It's kind of like, almost like a hexagon that I'm drawing rather than a nice smooth circle. So you might find that between you. Okay, grab yourself a band or a towel or a tie. I've got a green band. It doesn't need to be a band. It could be a tie, a scarf, anything like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some resets. So, you want to place the foot through the band. The band goes around the ankle. You're going to loop it under the foot. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to pull the ankle and then you're going to reset. So you're providing a little bit of resistance. So pull, let it off. But you're not letting it off too easily. I'm having these muscles on the outside of my leg are having to work. So this is working on a little bit of stretching side to side. It's also getting those muscles to work and strengthen. So this is a bit of ankle stability now. What's really important to know is when you're trying to mobilise things, you also need to make sure that as well as it moving well, it also needs to be strong and stable. So then spin around, we're going to go the other way. So pull to the side and straighten up. What I like to think about is a door. You want that door to swing freely, but needs to swing with control. If it's too loose, it's going to open and shut, it's going to slam, it's going to smash into the wall. You need the range of motion, but you also need that control. And this is a great one for practicing that. So I'm going the other way now. So let's switch and do the other foot. So remember, round the ankle, under the foot, towards you. So I'm using the band and I'm just letting a little bit of tension off and pulling back. You can see these muscles are working. My ankle's getting a little bit of a stretch, but it's also doing some work and stabilising. And then switch and go around the other side. Just have to let the tension off go a little bit. This one is really nowhere near as good as the other one. So, something I need to practice on. What we can do as well, we're going to do 2 final stretches to finish off. Is you can use your strap or your band, put it around the toes, and then pull the ball of your foot and the toes back towards you. So you can just relax and let the tension in the scarf or whatever it is that you're using, pull that foot back. So we're going to feel that nice stretch down the back of the calf. And as we stretch and feel the range of motion improve, we're just going to apply a little bit more pressure. So we're just going to spend some time here. Okay, a little bit more tension. And again, this is a great one to do while you're sat watching TV, or if you're on a call but you don't need to be on the video, you can just be listening and while doing a little bit of stretching too. Okay, let's try my dodgy left side. So range of motion is not actually too bad on this stretch. It's more the control that's kind of been a bit eye-opening for me today. A little bit clunky, needs a bit of work to smooth it out. I'm trying to think back through whether this is an ankle that I've sprained. Could well be. So a bit more tension. Now, the final thing we're going to do is a squatted calf stretch. Now, this is a really kind of functional stretch because often it's the ankle mobility we need when we're in the squat position. So, one thing you can do is come down into a squat position, put your weight onto the thigh and push your knee over your toe. My heel's coming up a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm pushing over. Now, you need to be careful not to put too much pressure on the front of your knee, so if that's sore or painful, then you don't want to do it. But this one is a nice one just to relax into, and I'm getting this stretch all down the back of my ankle. And just switch over, try the other side. So I'm applying a bit of pressure and I'm feeling this stretch through here. Doesn't want to be a massive stretch, just a little bit. And you can move from side to side, and even when you're in this position you can just practice moving forward, applying a little bit of pressure onto the toes, feeling those ankles get stretched out. So, stand yourself up, shake everything out. Hopefully calves, ankles feeling nice and alive, a little bit more mobilised. It's something you just need to keep chipping away at. One off isn't going to do it. It's the constant repetition and practice which is going to see you make progress. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you back again for another Wake Up video soon.